Every year, the hair care industry sells you a bottle of synthetic plastic coating and calls it conditioner. The active ingredient in most of those bottles is a silicone polymer derived from industrial chemistry. It coats your hair in a thin film. That film is what you feel when your hair feels smooth. It is not nourishment. It is not repair. It is plastic. And there is one plant growing wild in meadows across 3 continents that produces a GEL, which does the exact same thing. And at the end of this video, you will know how to make a conditioner at home that costs you nothing and replaces every bottle on your shelf. Hi, I am Harry, and this is Garden Explained with Harry. Walk into any drugstore tonight, stand in the hair care aisle, count the bottles. There will be 40 or 50 of them lined up in rows of bright packaging and bold promises. Smoother hair, shinier hair, stronger hair, salon quality results. Every single bottle competing for your attention. Every single bottle priced between $4 and $18. Every single bottle containing essentially the same thing. The ingredient that does the work in most commercial conditioners is called dimethicone. It is a silicone. Silicones are synthetic polymers. They are not derived from plants. They are not derived from anything your body recognizes as food. Dimethicone is manufactured in chemical plants using sand and methanol processed through a series of industrial reactions. The result is a clear fluid that feels slippery between your fingers. When applied to hair, it forms a thin coating over each individual strand. That coating fills in the rough edges of the hair cuticle. Light hits the smooth surface and reflects evenly. That even reflection is what you see as shine. This is important to understand. The shine you see after conditioning is not healthy hair. It is coated hair. The smoothness you feel is not repaired hair. It is sealed hair. The product did not fix anything. It covered everything. Now, here is where the business model reveals itself. Dimethicone does not wash out easily with water. It is not water soluble. Each time you condition your hair, a thin layer remains. After 5 or 6 washes, those layers accumulate. Your hair starts to feel heavy. It looks dull. It feels limp and lifeless. The very product that promised shine is now causing the opposite. The industry anticipated this. They sell you a second product, a clarifying shampoo. Stronger surfactants designed to strip the silicone buildup from your hair. You strip. You recondition. The silicone builds up again. You strip again. This cycle does not end. It was engineered not to end. Every stage of the cycle requires a purchase. Every purchase generates revenue. The global conditioner market alone generates roughly $30 billion per year. That number depends entirely on you coming back to the shelf every 4 to 6 weeks. A product that actually fixed your hair would destroy this model. A product that washed clean and never built up would cut the cycle in half. A product that grew in your backyard and cost nothing would end it completely. Such a product exists. It has existed for thousands of years. In ancient Egypt, around 3000 BC, farmers along the Nile cultivated a slender blue flowering plant. They grew it primarily for its fiber. That fiber became linen. The linen wrapped pharaohs in their tombs. It clothed priests in their temples. It sailed ships across the Mediterranean. But the fiber was only part of the story. The seeds of this plant held something the Egyptians also valued. When those seeds were soaked in water, they released a thick, clear gel. Egyptian women applied this gel to their hair and skin. The practice appears in medical papyri that survive to this day. In the Ethiopian highlands, communities grew the same plant for millennia. Mothers pressed the seeds for oil. They rubbed the oil into their daughters' hair. The knowledge passed forward generation after generation. No interruption, no forgetting. The tradition simply continued because it worked. In medieval Europe, monasteries cultivated this plant across vast fields. The monks knew about the fiber, they knew about the oil, and they knew about the GEL. Monastic herbals documented the seeds soaked in water and applied to skin irritations and to hair. The plant grew in monastery gardens from Ireland to Bavaria. It grew in cottage gardens across England and France. It grew wild in meadows wherever the soil was thin and the sun was strong. In India, the tradition runs even deeper. Ayurvedic practitioners reference the seeds in formulations for hair strength and scalp health. In rural Rajasthan, grandmothers still soak these seeds overnight and apply the gel to their hair before washing. The practice never disappeared there. It was never replaced by a bottle. The knowledge simply never left the kitchen. The plant is flaxseed, Linum usitatissimum, the same plant that produces linen. The same plant that grows wild right now in meadows across Europe and North America and Central Asia. You may have walked past it 100 times without knowing what it could do. When you simmer flax seeds in water, something happens within the first few minutes. The outer coat of each seed begins to swell. A thick viscous gel leaches into the water. This gel is a polysaccharide. That means it is a long-chain sugar molecule produced naturally by the seed. When you strain out the seeds and collect the gel, you are holding a natural film former. Apply it to wet hair. The polysaccharide chains lay down along the hair shaft. They smooth the cuticle layer flat. Light reflects evenly off the surface. Shine appears. This is the same mechanism as dimethicone, the same physics, the same visual result, but with one critical difference. Flaxseed gel is water-soluble. It rinses out completely with plain water. No buildup, no accumulation, no need for a clarifying shampoo to strip it away. No cycle, no trap. You wash your hair and start clean every single time. But the GEL does something that silicone cannot. Flaxseed gel contains high concentrations of water-soluble mucilage polysaccharides that coat and smooth the hair shaft, while the seed oil contains 53% alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, and omega-3 fatty acid. However, when you boil whole flax seeds in water to make a simple gel, the lipid-rich oils remain locked inside the uncrushed seed coat, meaning the aqueous gel itself contains minimal oil. Furthermore, topical application of large lipid molecules like ALA to the scalp cannot directly penetrate into the deep dermal papilla cells at the base of the follicle to induce hair growth. Instead, oral consumption of omega-3 fatty acids is required to deliver essential fatty acids to the follicle through systemic dermal capillaries. It smooths the surface and nourishes the source. The gel also contains vitamin E, which protects scalp tissue from oxidative damage. It contains B vitamins that support keratin production. Keratin is the structural protein that hair is made of, and the natural pH of flaxseed gel falls between 4 and 5.5. This matches the natural pH of your hair and scalp almost exactly. Commercial conditioners require chemical buffering agents to reach this range. Flaxseed arrives there on its own without adjustment. So here is the question that matters. If a wild plant produces a GEL that conditions hair as effectively as a $30 billion industry of synthetic alternatives, and does it without buildup, and does it while actually nourishing the follicle, and does it at a pH that matches human hair naturally, why has no one told you about it? The answer is not complicated. The hair care industry cannot patent a seed. It cannot patent boiling water. It cannot patent a gel that any person in any kitchen can produce in 15 minutes with no equipment and no training. If flaxseed gel entered mainstream awareness tomorrow, it would not eliminate the conditioner market, but it would threaten it, and threatened is enough. Research funding follows money. Cosmetic science labs study compounds that can be synthesized and isolated and patented and sold. Flaxseed mucilage cannot be owned. It is a natural secretion of a plant that grows wild on 3 continents. No corporation will fund a major study on something it cannot monetize. The studies that do exist come from dermatology departments in India. They come from cosmetic science programs in South Korea. They come from agricultural universities in Eastern Europe. The research is there. It sits in journals that Western beauty media has never opened. Compare the visibility. A single global shampoo brand spends over $300 million annually on advertising, television commercials, magazine spreads, celebrity endorsements, social media campaigns. Flaxseed has no marketing department, no brand ambassador, no shelf placement deal with any retailer on earth. The information gap between a $300 million marketing budget and zero is not a gap, it is a wall. This is not conspiracy. This is economics. Companies fund what they can sell. They do not fund what makes their products unnecessary. Universities chase grants from available sources. The sources favor patentable formulations. A seed that anyone can grow in a backyard cannot be patented. The funding flows elsewhere. The research follows the funding. 3 generations of consumers grew up reaching for a plastic bottle because no one profited from telling them about a seed. But the seed does not care about profit margins. It has been producing this GEL for 7,000 years. Here is how you make it. Take 2 tablespoons of whole flax seeds. Add 1 cup of water. Place them in a small pot on your stove. Bring the water to a gentle simmer over low heat. Stir occasionally. Within 7 to 10 minutes, you will see the water thicken. It will become viscous and slightly sticky. The seeds are releasing their mucilage. Continue simmering for another 5 minutes until the liquid reaches a gel-like consistency. Remove from heat. Strain through a fine mesh sieve or a piece of cheesecloth into a clean jar. Discard the seeds or save them for a second batch. The gel that collects in the jar is your conditioner. Apply it to wet hair after shampooing. Work it through from roots to ends. Leave it for 5 to 10 minutes. Rinse with water. Your hair will feel different immediately. Smoother, softer, lighter than it feels after commercial conditioner because there is no silicone weight sitting on each strand. Store the plain, unpreserved gel in an airtight glass container in your refrigerator and use it within 3 to 5 days, or freeze it into single-use ice cubes for long-term storage. Because DIY flaxseed gel is a water-rich, unpreserved organic botanical extract stored in a warm, humid bathroom environment, it serves as an ideal breeding ground for hazardous opportunistic pathogens like Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Staphylococcus aureus, and various molds. If you add raw honey or aloe vera, you introduce additional unsterilized sugars that dramatically accelerate bacterial proliferation. But none of these are necessary. The plain gel works on its own. It has worked on its own for 7,000 years. Now here is the part that changes everything. You can grow this plant yourself. Flaxseed thrives in zones 3 through 9. This covers most of the United States, most of Canada, most of Europe, large stretches of Asia, and parts of South America. The plant tolerates poor soil. It tolerates drought once it establishes. It tolerates being completely ignored. Scatter seeds on bare ground in early spring after the last frost. Press them lightly into the soil. Water once, then walk away. The plants germinate within 7 to 10 days. They grow to about 2 feet tall on slender stems. In early summer, they produce small blue flowers that last a single day each. New flowers open every morning. By late summer, the seed pods have matured. Harvest by cutting the stalks near the base. Let the pods dry. Thresh them to release the seeds. One small patch produces enough seeds for a full year of hair conditioning and enough left over to eat. Leave a few plants standing at the end of the season. The seed pods will shatter on their own. The seeds will scatter across the ground. Next spring, the patch returns without any effort from you. The year after that, it returns again. This is why flax grows wild in meadows across Europe. Nobody planted those meadow patches recently. The plant has been replanting itself for centuries. One planting becomes a permanent supply. No annual purchase, no subscription, no trip to the store. Whole flax seeds stored in a cool, dry place remain viable for years. They do not spoil. They do not require special containers. A jar on a pantry shelf is enough. If supply chains collapse, if stores close, if prices double, the seeds in your kitchen still produce gel. The plants in your garden still produce seeds. The cycle sustains itself without any industry involvement at all. Right now, somewhere a factory is blending dimethicone with cetyl alcohol and parabens and synthetic fragrance and pumping it into a plastic bottle that will ship across an ocean and sit on a shelf under fluorescent light until someone pays $8 for it. And right now, somewhere in a meadow, a flax plant is standing in thin soil under open sky producing the same result in its seeds for free. One of those has a marketing budget of $300 million. The other has been growing without one for 7,000 years, and it has no plans to stop.